Hello guys, welcome back to another review. Here we are going to be looking at House of Gucci. House of Gucci is a biopic movie starring Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, Al Pacino, Jared Leto, Jeremy Irons. Big cast, big names, loads of people that we know, loads of people we've seen in other movies. It's directed by Ridley Scott. It's a great, thought out movie. But yeah, I have some thoughts on it. This movie, I was really looking forward to it. The trailer I thought was brilliant. I was anticipated so much for this film. I was like looking forward to it. I'm a big Lady Gaga fan. I think she did a great job in like A Star Is Born with Bradley Cooper way back when. And I was really looking forward to this movie, but it just didn't for me hit it off. It just didn't. There was hardly any tension in this movie at all. The script for me was way all over the place. Like it was just, each scene just felt like 45 seconds to a minute. Like it was really quick. I really want to know how many outfits Lady Gaga had in this film, because every like minute or two she was changing and the story was just progressing. You can't go to the toilet in this film because you'll miss two scenes. It was that speedy. And I just don't think they just basically scraped the surface with the story. There was no emotion there. We never got to saw like Adam Driver's character really develop like emotion behind what was actually happening with his like family and stuff. It was all just skimmed along the surface. And as I say, the characters, the actors that were at this movie and the director, it was all set out to be like this amazing thing, but it just didn't hit it off. For me, the trailer had like so much tension in there. I absolutely loved the trailer. I thought it was well edited, well played out, but that was what it was. It was an advert for the movie, and the movie itself for me wasn't as good as what the trailer made out it was going to be, which is a real shame. I'm really gutted about it because I was hoping that this would be like, hopefully my film of the year. It was the one film I was really looking forward to this month, but it just hasn't hit off, and some do, some don't. For me, this one didn't. King Richard was a massive surprise. If you did miss my review, go and check that out, but that was a massive surprise. I loved that movie, and this was just, meh. I think they played on too much that people actually understood the story of what actually happened way back in the late 90s. I had no idea, so for me, I still don't know much more about it. It's one of those, if you don't know the story, you're not going to get much from this movie, in my opinion. I'm going to be going online and reading up about it, definitely. It's a really interesting story, but I think it was, one that could have been played out really well in a movie, but it just wasn't. There was also some very creative choices made with the film itself. It almost looked black and white in some scenes. There was a high levels of blue. There was hardly any saturation. And for being in Italy, I really thought that maybe we'd see some bright colours, and all that, but no, it was basically almost black and white nearly, and like I said, almost bluey. That was a creative choice, and it was like that very much throughout the main bit of the film, really. We did have more of a sepia kind of style at the beginning of the film, yellows and deserty and all that, but other than that, it was mainly like black and whitey, bluey type of movie. The soundtrack itself was okay as well. They had a few songs here or there, nothing out of the ordinary. But as I do with all biopics, I like looking back at the time period. This was very much over the 80s and the 90s, and they had the style that was obviously at the forefront. I mean, it's a Gucci movie, so there's going to be fashion. It was perfect. They did that really well, in my opinion. But that was it really. The story was terrible, and it just didn't go anywhere. And there was a lot of potential, but it just didn't reach that potential, in my opinion. So it's a real shame. My review for this movie, though, is going to be a 4 out of 10. It's really low, and it's like a low 3-star. I really am gutted to give it a 3-star, basically, but it just wasn't good. So 4 out of 10 for me. Lady Gaga, I thought was great in the film, but and all the actors were great, but they just didn't have much to work with, in my opinion. I think that just the director, Ridley Scott, obviously has big potential, and he has a big name, but it just didn't live up to it. And I was really hoping for this movie to be better than it was. I know it was stopped during COVID and then restarted filming again, so I'm not sure if maybe that was a problem and that's why things were missed. But it was missed, and it wasn't great. It could have been a lot better. It should have been a lot better, as I said, with the cast and the staff and all that behind the movie, but it just wasn't, and it's a real shame. I would still check it out though if you want to. You could wait for it to come on streaming or something. You're not going to miss much. But Lady Gaga's performance was great, but like I said, they just had what they had to work with, I guess, and yeah, it is where it is, unfortunately. 4 out of 10. So there it is, guys. There is my review of House of Gucci. Unfortunately, not for me, but of course, let me know your thoughts down below. I really want to know what you guys think of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I of course will see you in the next one. Goodbye.